Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special live webinar event with the one and only Sarah Cincotta. How are you today, Sarah?
I'm really well. Thanks, Mike. Happy to be here.
I nearly said Cincotta there, which would have been a terrible...
Either or. I mean, in the Italian way, it's Cincotta, but...
Cincotta, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll just call you Sarah. Now, while we're waiting for people to log in and sign up, because we've had a tremendous response for people that are wanting to come here today, I just wanted to say thank you. For anyone that hasn't come across me before, my name's Mike Mortlock. I'm the Managing Director of MCG Quantity Surveyors. Our special client is really landlords, so we recognise that property managers are absolutely crucial to what we do in business. And through what we do and sponsoring different events and getting out there and meeting different people, we are thankful to be able to get in front of people like yourself and then basically harass you until you say yes. Will you provide some training so that we can give back to our property management community? So thank you very much, Sarah, for agreeing to jump on board today.
Pleasure.
Now, I'm going to hand over to you, but I encourage anybody that's on today, jump in the chat, say hello, let us know where you're from, and feel free to chuck in any questions that you have along the way. We will do a Q&A at the end of the session, but feel free to chuck those in at any point in time. But I'm going to hand over to you, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Well, hello, everyone, for joining today. For those watching the replay, hello. If you do not know me, my name is Sarah Cincotta. I am a mentor for professionals, especially business development managers in the property management industry. With over a decade of experience, I like to think that I've had an amazing journey, especially embracing a growth mindset, where I started in reception in property management, worked into an assistant property management role, then grew to property management. I then pursued my career as a business development manager, and now I have got my business where I mentor business development managers. So hopefully today I also take you on a bit of a journey. Like Mike said, please utilize the chat, ask any questions. If some things come up today, just embrace that. Let me know. We want to make this as interactive as possible so that you get the most out of today's session as well. So the growth mindset. You have probably heard of it before. I want to talk about, what is a growth mindset? A growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Growth in property management and how we can embrace the growth in property management, and setting some goals for you, not just professionally, but personally as well. And then we are going to finish with the Q&A at the end, okay? So what is a growth mindset? You can search on Google if you want, and you will find many different responses to this. Now, this is my view and my belief of a growth mindset, and from my personal experiences, is the evolution. So as human beings, we can evolve, but we have to make a choice to continue to evolve. And that is having that growth mindset in mind, to continue to learn, to value feedback. Your intelligence can continue to be developed. You can ask questions and have awareness of things that are constantly changing, and embrace that change every single day. Sorry, Mike, I can still hear a sound in the back. Can you hear that on your end? Or?
Yeah, I can hear there is a little bit of a bit of thing coming through. I'll turn off my audio and see how that goes.
Okay, it's gone now. Sorry, guys, it was really annoying me at the back end, but I was like, I need to get this fixed up now. The other thing with the growth mindset is being aware of your thoughts and behaviors and actually taking some control. Now, every day we have so many different thoughts that can come through our mind. We have things that happen on a day-to-day basis, and especially in property management, right? So we want to be able to take control of how we behave so that we are not in a reactive state, all right? And we want to be mindful of the thoughts that are coming through. And I want to encourage you all today to take this with you, is that embracing a growth mindset and continuing to evolve, right? Controlling your thoughts and behaviors, it all starts with you. No one else can control your thoughts. No one else can control your behaviors. No one else can make you evolve as a human being. You need to take that under your stride, right? And it all starts with you. So that is a growth mindset. Now, typically, you will see the difference in front of you right here, right now, between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So when we look at a fixed mindset, typically, someone will think that their abilities and intelligence are fixed traits. So, oh, I am just this way, yeah? Or this is all I know, okay? They can also avoid challenges, and they also can give up when faced with difficulties. So drop in the chat and be really honest. Have you ever been saying to yourself these things, right? Or have you avoided some challenges? Or have you given up because you're like, oh, that's just too hard. I can't do that. Someone else can do that better than me. Let me know in the chat box. That would be really great. Now, a growth mindset, on the other hand, is someone that has the ability and the intelligence that it's not set in stone. So they continue to learn. They can continue to grow, all right? And they look at challenges as an opportunity, or there could be a lesson in those challenges that come up as an opportunity for growth. And they can also seek out new strategies to improve. Now, it's not always to be better. I don't want to use that word. We don't need to be better. It's being the best versions of ourselves, okay? And there are always so many opportunities out there. Now, I'm going to share a vulnerable scenario or situation that happened in my life. And this was going back nearly 5 years ago now. So I was working as a property manager. I was managing 186 properties end to end at that time. And I had probably the worst news of my life. I found out that I had a benign tumor, which was 8 by 6 centimeters, and I had to get half of my liver removed. Now, through this experience, I could have had a fixed mindset and kept going, well, poor me, and I didn't deserve this to happen to me, and I could have stayed in a really sad and depressed state. However, through this experience, it made me develop resilience, yeah? And I was motivated to continue to work on myself and face this challenge in my life as an opportunity for what I wanted. And through that experience, I actually then created that opportunity to go into the business development management role. Okay, so that is sharing something vulnerable with you. How, yes, at one stage I did have a fixed mindset, but through an experience that happened to me, it was through that I developed a growth mindset. Okay, and looked at the challenges and found that resilience and continued to learn and trust in myself and really look at property management like a career. Now, the next thing I want to share is your personal and professional growth is an ongoing journey rather than a destination. So for those that do know me will know I'm really passionate about the personal and professional growth, okay, especially when it comes to property management. And I love to see, the new generation coming in and the older generations in property management continuing to be adaptive to the property management industry and come up with fresh ideas and invest in their own growth and read books and listen to podcasts and come on a webinar like this and to get to know their peers. And it will be forever a journey. And that's one thing that I look at. It's not just you're a property manager. It's not just you're a business development manager. You are a human being and you are on a journey which is called life. Yeah. And our work in our life is integrated so beautifully. And what special things that we can do that we are able to help people every single day. And that has been a motivation for my growth mindset throughout my career in property management. That was my driver. That was my why. So I encourage you to reflect on, why do you love working in property management? Why did you choose to work in property management? Perhaps you just fell into it. That's okay. Some of us have. But what keeps you going? What is it that you love to do? And what's your journey been like so far? And what would you like your journey to be like in the future? It is great to be able to pause and have a look at where we've come from and where we are heading. And for me, being in property management and real estate was one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had, because it was a journey. It wasn't just a destination. I kept evolving as a person, and I kept learning, because property management and real estate will continue to change. I was speaking to someone today, and we were talking and having a laugh about back in the day about the fax machines, right? And now it doesn't exist anymore. We don't send faxes. So we need to continue to adapt that growth mindset and evolve, right? And find that resilience. So what can you do? How can you embrace this growth mindset in property management and in your life? Learn to embrace challenges, because challenges are opportunities for you to learn and improve. So I'm going to give you an example of a challenge from property management. I remember there was a client, and I just shared this the other day. They were a couple, and they were a lovely couple. We approved them to go into this brand new townhouse. And unfortunately, their relationship broke down. And when I had to go do the final inspection, there was $9,500 worth of damages to the property. Now, I had never dealt with a case this large through VCAT before. Yes, I was freaking out a little bit. I didn't know exactly how I was going to bring this news to the landlord, but I actually embraced that challenge. And the representation that I did at VCAT, the landlord then was able to get everything back. They weren't at a loss at all. I had to back myself, right? I had to embrace that scenario and that challenge. And I had to learn in that moment how I could help my landlord the best way possible. And then I continued to learn. And so that I got really good at representing my clients at VCAT, right? But it was from that experience in the first place that I was able to learn through that. And I think that is one of the great things in property management is every day it is different. We're dealing with different situations, different scenarios, and it is a great for you to learn through every single challenge or opportunity that presents itself for you, in front of you, sorry. Determination and resilience. Now, determination, someone can't tell you that you need to be determined. You need to find that. And I always say it's what's that fire in your belly? So for me, resilience did come from an experience that I had faced. However, I'm sure a lot of you would agree that on day-to-day, you are being resilient because you are dealing with certain situations between being the middleman, right? Having scenarios that you still are showing your intelligence and your knowledge as being a professional, and also that empathetic side to your clients, all right? But what drives you? And this is what I said earlier. Why do you love property management? What is it? Is it the people? Is it that you get to help people? And if that's something I want you to do today is write that down. Why? What is your why? Why do you love working in property management? Why do you love working in real estate? That is going to be your determination. That's going to be your driver. That it will help you with your resilience so that when you are faced with a challenge, you can embrace that. Not going back to a fixed mindset and going, I can't do that. Yes, you can do that. Believe in yourself. Back yourself. All right? Now, learning is one of my favorite things. However, it takes time and it takes practice. So if there's something that you want to learn, be patient with yourself. But make it a goal that you really want to learn that and make an effort towards it. I always celebrate my clients that I work with, especially those who take it within themselves to actually invest in growth, because I know that they are doing it to get out of their comfort zone, to embrace a growth mindset, to learn and develop new skills, and to continue to learn. I always say, if you're not learning, you're dying. Now, some of you might say that's really harsh. Well, you have the ability as a human being to continue to learn. And there's so many different things that you want to learn. One thing that I want to do is I want to learn how to speak Italian. I'm Italian and I don't know how to do it. I can either just have it there and go, oh, well, yeah, it's something I want to do, or I can embrace that, have a growth mindset, and actually have a goal and make a plan to do it, okay? The other thing with that, having a growth mindset and what you can do is be open to constructive criticism and feedback. These are also opportunities for you to grow as an individual. Now, I've had so much constructive criticism, especially when I was in the learning stages. Now, I could have got really defensive towards this criticism, or what I did do is I embraced that, and I took it as signs that I had areas to continue to develop and learn and grow. Okay, so that is also something that you can do. The other thing you can do, and what I encourage, is collaboration over competition. Okay, everyone is on a different journey. So you might be sitting, I know that the guys at Ray White Bendigo, shout out to you guys, you're on right now, but I know that they're sitting with their team and they probably will be talking about things afterwards. But instead of looking at someone else and just looking at their success and their achievements and feeling threatened by that or thinking someone is better than you, have a chat with them. How did you get to where you are? I would really love to learn how you're able to connect with so many people. Collaboration. And right now, especially in property management, we all need to be together, encouraging each other, learning with each other, adapting, evolving, giving the best service possible to your clients because they need you so much right now. And when we come from that place of service and we are clear on our why, and we've got that drive and determination because we love what we do, naturally you are going to attract more clients. You're going to have a happy team. Everyone's in a growth mindset. And then you're flexible to change, right? We're seeing landlords selling their properties right now. We're seeing landlords in really, really struggling right now. And we're also seeing our renters struggling. But we need to be adaptive to those changes. And that's what you can do by embracing that growth mindset. Okay, so let's have a look at some growth in the property management sector. Okay, now for me, mindset is everything. Now I want you to go, okay, what's my mindset like? What are the things that I'm doing? Am I, walking every day? Do I journal? Do I do some self-reflection? Am I eating well? What are your habits like? What are the things that you're doing every day? I always like to say that your brain is like a muscle. Yeah, we want to look after our brain. We want to make sure that we've got a great mindset. And these are the things that you do every day. So have a think, what am I doing to look after my brain? What am I doing to have this expansiveness as a human being so that I can continue to add value, so that I continue to learn, so that I can give the best service to my clients or to the business or towards my team? The other thing is when it comes to your beliefs. Now, I want you to keep in mind that your beliefs is very much just that. They are your beliefs. But have an open mind when someone is sharing something to you about their beliefs. There's no right or wrong. We just perceive things in this world in a different way, especially if you look at this when it comes to your clients and when they are telling you something or they might be struggling, they are speaking to you because of their belief about the situation. So just be mindful of that. You don't have to agree or disagree. It's just be open-minded to what someone else's beliefs are. Determination I went through before, but like I said, I really encourage you to see, well, what helps you be determined in the industry. And servicing and people. Like we are in a people industry. It's all about relationships and servicing. This is definitely has huge growth in property management, because other people in your team will grow too. Your clients, your landlords, your renters, they will grow. Your renters might become a landlord one day, yeah? So the people around you will also be growing, hopefully, right? I also say in growth is to have honesty and transparency. I think that's really important. And to have a look at your values, the business values. Not to put a downer on this, but if you're working for a business, those that are watching, really have an understanding of the values of the business, because this will definitely help when it comes to embracing that growth mindset in property management and in everything you do in your conversations and how you present yourself, how you type an email. It goes back to your values and the business values as well. Have compassion and empathy. I think that's really important in property management. Again, it goes back to what's your mindset? Are you open-minded to someone else's beliefs? And it all starts with self-awareness. When you become aware of your thoughts and your behaviors, you'll find that everything else will fall into place, okay? Because you then get really good at asking yourself questions why these thoughts come into your head. Like, oh, I won't be able to do a good job. Why? Why are you telling yourself you won't be able to do a good job? Or is it just simply that you haven't acquired that skill yet? So the awareness there then is, well, I actually haven't developed that skill yet. I'm going to talk to my teammates so that I can learn, or I'm going to listen to a podcast about this so I can learn, so that you can develop that skill. Knowledge and expansion. This is a great one as well. So knowledge, and there are so many things that we need to know in property management. Like, drop me a yes in the chat if you agree. There's so many things that we need to know. But to become a master of your craft in property management and in your career, your knowledge it's up to you. Your expansion is up to you. You need to continue to invest in your own growth. Your leaders will be there to help you. Your colleagues will be there to help you. But if you really want to love what you do and have a career out of it, then you need to invest in that knowledge. And that's what I did over the last 10 years is I've always been quite ambitious, but my ambition was because of the people that I served. So when I was a property manager, I loved my renters so much, and my landlords. And from having a growth mindset, I started growing the portfolio organically because of the service that I provided to my clients. And I had that awareness of the opportunities that existed when I embraced having this compassion towards other people whilst utilizing my knowledge and in continuing to invest in learnings, development, and trainings like what you are all doing now, so that I could continue to grow in my life and in my career. So have a think about it. What's your journey? What do you want to do? Never stop learning because life never stops teaching. I love this one. Every single day you will learn something. It could be from a conversation that you've had with someone. It could be from a podcast that you've listened to. It could be from a book that you've read. What I would like you to all do though is, if you haven't, is get a journal and every day start writing things down. Like, what did you learn? What did today teach you? What worked? What didn't work? How was I feeling today? What was my energy like? Is there something that I need to change so that I can do a better job tomorrow? Is there something that I need to improve so that I'm delivering the best customer service? Did I not go to the gym today and then I felt like that for the rest of the day energetically? So learn every day, because life will be teaching you lessons every single day. You just have to listen out for them. All right. So adapting. What can you do? The industry is constantly evolving, so that means we as human beings also need to adapt. So I want you to stay current with changing regulations, market trends, and shifts in the economy. I think this is a big one right now for anyone watching. We've got some big changes happening in our economy, and that is having an impact on our clients, whether that be our renters or our rental providers. I'm not saying necessarily turn on the TV and watch the news. I'm actually telling you to be mindful of the conversations that you're having with your renters and your rental providers, because they will be the ones who will be telling you what they're experiencing right now. For me, I'll share a personal experience. Like, yeah, I do the whole rent vesting thing. With the interest rate rises, I've had a massive blow, and I want to hold my investment property because I know that I'm providing a home for someone, but it is extremely hard. And I'm sure that a lot of your clients are going to be feeling the same thing. Now, it's not their fault. We've actually got a housing crisis going on right now where we don't actually have enough supply for the demand. And that is what's happening in our economy. But understand these things, okay? Why is this happening to the market? Yeah. What are we predicting to happen next year, so that you can adapt, or you can start planning on how you can service and educate your clients right now. And that's having that growth mindset. All right. Embrace the changes. Going back to before about reacting and a fixed mindset, if you are experiencing your landlord selling their properties right now, you can't change that. There's no point getting upset about it. Right? What you can do is view them as opportunities. So make sure that you are ending their journey of their investment property journey really well, right? It's been an experience for them. They might be having their own emotions, and probably 100% they will, about having to sell their investment property. Show compassion towards that. Ask them if they know anyone else that would benefit from the experience of the property management team, if they've been happy with you guys. Yeah, that's a growth mindset. There are the opportunities that are right there in front of you. And it is a great time as well to review, okay, we need to pivot as the market changes, as the economy changes, as the legislation changes. We need to adapt, right? And we need to educate our clients and market to our clients with coming from a good place from our values, okay? Now, sharing a bit of a case study. This is when I was a property manager. I wasn't a business development manager just yet, embracing the growth in the business. So I always looked at it that you will have opportunities already in front of you to help the growth for you, to help the growth for the company, and to also help the growth for your clients in front of you. And this is tapping into your existing network. And I see some great property managers already doing this, and they are growing organically because they are focusing on the relationships that they're having with their renters and their rental providers. They're understanding their goals. So from a renter, perhaps you have just placed someone into a property that they're leasing. What are their goals though? Do they want to buy an investment property in a year? Do they want to buy an investment property in 2 years? They will have some goals too. Understand them because they are opportunities right there and in front of you. Same with your rental providers. What are their goals? How can you help them? How can you support them? From asking this question to one of my current landlords that I had on my portfolio, I was able to generate an extra 10 listings just by asking that question, okay? If I hadn't have asked that question, I would have never got that opportunity. So there are opportunities in front of you right now. Now, for me, the motivation to go from property manager to business development management is because I wanted to do more of the investor support services. Now, have a think, if property management isn't your career, do you want to stay in property management? A lot of PMs that I've spoken to, they've started in reception, or they started as an assistant property manager, or they actually were in sales, or they were a BD and they went back to property management. And I also know some business development managers that were in sales previously and went into business development management. It can be a career choice. It's what do you want out of it though? What is your growth journey when it comes to property management? Okay. And how are you going to contribute to your growth personally and professionally? For me, I actually have a mentor all the time. I've had different mentors along my journey. Yes, some of my mentors have been in the real estate industry, but some of the greatest leaders and mentors that I've had have actually not been in the real estate industry because they helped with my mindset, my resilience, and my personal growth that contributed to my professional growth. I believe mindset is everything when it comes to just life in general. And I'm really grateful that I did take that step to embrace having a mentor to help me along that journey. All right. Now, why do we want to have a growth mindset? So that when situations happen, like you're having to negotiate, or you've got a renter crying on the phone, or a rental provider crying on the phone, right? You can still control your emotion, and you can have a positive attitude, and you can still have determination to help them and navigate through that situation, rather than getting angry, rather than getting stressed, rather than being reactive, rather than being, oh, this is way too hard. You'll be able to have a positive attitude towards situations that arise, okay? And this is no fluff. This is real. This exists. You have to believe that this is a possibility for you. Stress is one of the worst things that we can do for ourselves. PMs, BDs, or anyone watching, please, from my experience, know that it was because I was so stressed that I had developed that benign tumor, and I do not want that, and I would not wish that for anyone. So it's, if you can control the things that you do every day, you have a healthy mindset, you're walking, you're journaling, you're having a positive attitude, you're doing things that makes you feel good, you can control that stress, because you actually cause stress yourself. No one causes that. And I always like to say your breath and the way that if a situation arises, just to stop, take a deep breath, go for a walk, clear your head, and you'll come back to that with a different outlook on it, okay? Setbacks are not permanent. So yes, a situation can come, but it's like you'll find something, go, oh, that might be really hard, or I don't know how I'm going to do that. But then you end up doing it, right? I'm sure many of you have had those moments where you'll look at something and go, oh, I can't do that, or that's too hard. And then you've actually had some time and you've done that anyway, and you go, oh, that wasn't actually that hard. Yeah. They're not permanent setbacks. It's just you got to find that lesson, right? And you got to take a moment, pause, examine it, learn, do better the next time. So that's actually a good tip if you want to write that down. If a situation happens or a setback happens, examine the situation, learn from it, yeah, or learn what you need to, and then next time you'll do better when that situation or that circumstances occurs, okay? Resilient maintains your mental and emotional well-being. Now, it's, again, from the experiences that I've had, but even if you haven't had a traumatic experience like that, if you've had a situation happen and you have got past that setback, that is forming your resilience, yeah? How you have responded to that situation, that helps you form your resilience. It helps you with your mental and your emotional well-being, okay? And you'll be able to embrace opportunities no matter what marketplace you're in. Because I know right now people are going, oh, the marketplace it's really bad. We're not, getting calls, or we're not getting leads. Well, if you keep focusing on the negatives, guess what's going to happen? The negatives are going to keep showing up, right? However, if you focus on the positive things in your life, or like what we say is practicing gratitude, more of those things are going to show up. So what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on the negative or have a fixed mindset? Or do you want to focus on the positive and having a growth mindset, to embrace opportunities, to look at setbacks as just a lesson that's not permanent? It's just showing you something. It's going to help you be a better person or be the best version of yourself. All right. So things that you can do: face the challenge, learn, improve, seek feedback. I think I love businesses that I work with that they actually get feedback from each other within the team, because it's not criticism. It's just coming from an actually great place to provide feedback so they can do better the next time. Yeah. And I also want to encourage you, and going back to that collaboration over competition, spend some time with people that inspire you. I remember when I first started as a BDM and had no idea of the role, there was this girl, Daniela, she's worked at Railway Epping. They've rebranded. Daniela, if you watch this, it took me so much courage to reach out to her, but I actually loved what she was doing. I was like, I just want to talk to her about, how she's doing all of these things. Now, she was a competitor, and I could have been go back into the imposter syndrome, into the fixed mindset, like, I can't be like her, I can't do that. And then Daniela and I actually won the BDM of the Year of award the same year. So someone that I inspired and aspired to, that looked up to, I was fortunate enough to get to know her. She helped me out and I won an award with her. That is a growth mindset, people. Yeah. Celebrate the small wins. Now, I think industry, and I know that there's awards and we've got our KPIs and we've got things that we need to do in our performance, but small wins are so important. And when you get into the habit of this, it can be something like you had a really great conversation with a landlord today, or you had a really great conversation with the renter, or you were really proud of yourself on how you navigated that situation that led to a great result for all parties involved. Or it could be that you did get all of your lease renewals done, right? Or BDMs, if you're watching, it could be that, yes, you made the calls that you wanted to do for today, or you just connected with someone you didn't think that you would ever be able to connect with. It's not just the highs or the awards or when we get there, let's celebrate. Celebrate along the way. They're the moments that we want to embrace, the small wins. And they don't have to be for anyone else. We don't have to shout it everywhere. They're just for you. And that's why I encourage that journaling is something that you can do every day and write it down, the things that lifted you up today. And you'll find that they are the things that will keep helping you feel determined and you have that fire in your belly to continue to learn, grow, evolve, and your expansion. Foster relationships. I think this is a given, but just a reminder, because this is a positive thing today, is Relationships are so important in the real estate industry and property management. I strongly believe going forward, they will always, to me, be at the very front of everything that we do. So if there's something I can encourage you for the growth mindset is keep fostering those relationships that you have with people now. Seek and understand those opportunities. And if you do want change, like it could be, I'm getting personal now, maybe you want new friends, right? Maybe you want to try a different hobby. The change has to start with you if you want those things, okay? If you want to be more organized, you have to get more organized. If you want to be healthy, you have to eat healthy. You have to drink water. You have to go to the gym. You have to walk. These are all things that will help you, yeah? And there are people that will help you along the way. So don't be afraid to ask for help, okay? So we've got a growth mindset. We've got great relationships. We are seeking feedback. We are embracing challenges. We are learning, okay? And what are the results then? You will feel happy. You're satisfied, yeah? Your clients are happy because you're happy. They can sense that. They can feel that. Your team are happy because you come to work and you're a positive person to be around. You help other people in your team. Yeah, you're getting great results for your clients. Your team going to be happy. And then you go from thriving, not surviving. Now, why I say that is because right now, a lot of people are in survival mode, right? We've got the housing crisis. We've got landlords selling. We've got renters who aren't getting rental property, and we have a duty of care to help these people, yeah? But we can still find the opportunities in that, and that is helping them, right? Understanding them, having compassion. Because then we're not going from just surviving. We've got a purpose. We know our why, okay? And you will still reach your goals. So I'm sure that the businesses that you work for will have goals or KPIs. And when you embrace this growth mindset and really adapt your learnings to the things that you know need to happen to reach your goals, more opportunities are created from that. And they will. You just need to go out and get them. Right? Because if you just sit back and do nothing, nothing will happen. We need to go out and grab those opportunities. Okay? So some questions for today to write down so that you can do some reflection time is set yourself some goals. So what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Like I said earlier, why do you love property management? Do you have some career goals? Or do you have some personal goals? Okay. What are your strengths? And I love this. I'm not saying like weaknesses. What are your strengths? Get to know yourself as human beings. What are your strengths? What do you do really well? All right. And what is your long-term vision? What do you want your life to look like? Yeah. What kind of clients do you want? What kind of environment do you want to work in? Yeah. Set a long-term vision and set some annual learning objectives. So it could be you want to read a book once a week, or you want to listen to some podcasts, or it could be an Audible, right? You want to attend 2 events a year. You want to attend some workshops or some webinars like you have today. But set an objective. How many books do you want to read a year? How many podcasts do you want to listen to? And what podcasts do you want to listen to? What areas do you want to develop your skills more in, okay? And have yourself a supportive network. So collaborate with your peers and colleagues because you can learn something from each other every single day. There are so many beautiful online communities, especially in the property management space. Get involved, yeah? Like start conversations with people. Don't shy away from it. The other thing I want to say though is with the online communities, going back to a growth mindset, just keep in mind, remember, everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone has their own values. So you might not necessarily agree with what someone else is saying, but be open-minded to what they are saying, right? There's no right or wrong. We have different beliefs, right? We see things differently. Attend some industry events. Get a mentor or a coach or some training for your year. Have a network of people that support you, that encourage you. that want to see you continue to learn and grow, that want the best from you. Because if you surround yourself with those kind of people, your evolution will be crazy, good crazy, yeah? And your expansion as a person will be amazing and phenomenal. So I want to thank everyone. I know we're going to open up to some Q&As. Always, if you want to connect with me, I've got my details on there, but I really hope you enjoyed today and the growth mindset, all about it. But remember, it's not just professionally, it's personally as well. Thank you all.
Love that. Thank you very much, Sarah. And I love that good, crazy evolution.
Good, crazy evolution, yeah.
I've got some huge takeaways that I'd love to share, which gives people an opportunity to jump into the chat to ask any questions that you have of Sarah. She's kindly donated quite a bit of time to answer any questions that you might have. One thing I wanted to really highlight is that you talked about the virtue of collaboration versus competition. And by case in point, we actually have 3 of the other people that have presented in this sort of webinar series in Kirk Stafford, Ashley Goodchild and Amy Blackburn in the room today. So, I mean, that just goes to show what a beautiful community you've got there with these industry gurus all sort of checking in with each other and supporting each other. And I've just put in the sticky chat as well to be able to see those webinars. You can go to that link. Amazing story about having half your liver removed. That sounds like a real crossroads in where you could sort of have that woe is me attitude or go, look, I'm going to get through this. This is an opportunity for growth. That was a pretty amazing personal story there, Sarah.
Yeah, and, shout out to the other mentors and coaches that are on, because we understand that this industry, we're not competing. We're here to give back, right, to our community and our people. And it's the same with, property managers or BDs. Like, there's too many times that I keep hearing, they're my competitor. But there's so many things that you can control in your day-to-day. And if you want to do better, and you have to take that control, right? Because everyone's definition of success is different. But I think what we're seeing now is, and that's why I mentioned like new generations, because we're seeing new people come into the industry that need to learn, right? They're starting completely green, right? And they will learn from the experienced people, but in that, they're actually learning from each other, which is really special. The same thing when it comes to the trainers and coaches that we have. So it's just embracing this. Just go and talk to someone, even if they're in your area, catch up with them, have a chat, right? And just say, what are you experiencing in the marketplace? Yeah, what can we do? How can we help people? An example of this is one of my beautiful clients at the moment, Jono. Everyone's aware of what's happening in Israel at the moment. He's actually found a community here in Melbourne, and he's helping the community here in Melbourne because of what's happening in Israel, right? And this is what I love, yeah? Ashley, if she's still on, she's got the Arana House, right? Where they're doing things to help the community. And that's what it's about, everyone coming together just to help be better in the property management space and the real estate industry. I think for me, I have found that the situation that happened to me, Mike, was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And some people might say, you're crazy. How can that be the best thing that ever happened to you? Because it was like my aha moment. I finally had the awareness of the things that I wanted to do. I found my why. I found my passion. Yeah. And some might say I was relentless to go after what I wanted. And yeah, I was. Right? Because I knew what I wanted for my life. And whatever it is for people that are watching, I've seen so many clients say, hello, everyone. Just saw it in the chat now, Mike. But what is your why? And I think that's what I want people to get from today is concentrate on that. That'll be your driver. Yeah. And the things that you can control every single day. And it's the small things, Mike, too, right? People go, we need more time. I hear that all the time. We need more time. I need more time. Do you need more time? Because everyone has the same amount of hours in the day, right? Or do you just need to be more organized? Or do you need to be more productive? Do you need to automate things? So this is, again, going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And it starts with awareness. So pull yourself up when these thoughts come through. Why are they coming through? How can I learn from this, right? And you get really good at doing that. And journaling has been one of the best things ever for me. And also having a mentor. Highly encourage it. There's so many great people in the property management space that are here to support you all. So if it is something you're interested in, like, yeah, get amongst it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely spoilt for choice with some great industry gurus, and having a mentor, celebrating the small wins. They were big takeaways for me. I love the quotes: "If you're not learning, you're dying," and never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Isn't that true? And before we go to questions, and just a little gentle nudge, stick it in the chat if you've got some questions for Sarah. I found it really interesting when you're talking about someone selling is an opportunity, because I'm very aware of what's happening in the space. I've been trying to advocate with respect to my modest profile about some of the government policy changes that have made investors want to sell their property. And of course, for property managers, you're watching the rent roll slip away, but you still see someone selling as an opportunity. You're empathizing with them about how it's possibly a difficult time or a big decision, and by treating them with respect and kindness rather than just, okay, this is an outgoing revenue source, you've got that opportunity to say, look, is there anyone else you think we can help? And if you are treating them with kindness and providing maximum value, then they're likely to tell all of their friends in a similar situation that are investors that you're the person to speak to. So that really spoke to me.
Absolutely, Mike. And I think that's when so many, there's been too many times that I hear people going, oh, we have to go external. But there's things already internally in their businesses or the relationships that they have. And once you start identifying those opportunities and having those conversations and focusing on the relationships with them, that's when the growth can happen, right? It's like I gave that example because it's, this client has been with you, let's just say, 2-3 years, right, for the property management tenure. And then they're going to sell, and they could be emotional about it. Unless you ask them, you actually won't understand. So that's the first thing, is ask the questions. How are they feeling about it? To come with that compassion. And then how can you help that client? It's not just, okay, yeah, you're going to sell, see you later. Well, they were a client with you for 2 years. That relationship does nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I think, Kirk, if you're still on, Kirk did a post about this, and it's even if you've had someone that's working with your team and then they suddenly go somewhere else and have sought another opportunity or doing something, well, it's not just good riddance, like see ya. It's you continue that relationship. It's respect for that person, and that person, like what you said, Mike, is they will continue to promote and be advocates for the business because it ended on a good way.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about a personal example. There was a company that we used to work with, and they dropped the ball a number of times, so we moved elsewhere. But the way that they handed over and the way that they respected our decision and were sort of sorry and contrite actually resulted in them sort of reaching out to say, look, this is what happened before. These are the changes that we've made in the business. We know you've got someone else, but, if in the future there's a time you would consider us, then we'd love that opportunity. And we are now actually working with them again, right? And the company that has handed over to them have taken it very poorly. They're not being very helpful at all. So they've never got any chance in the future. So it just goes to show that you've got to take those as opportunities. We've got one little bit of a left field question from someone that wants to remain anonymous. They're basically just asking, can I ask what opportunities and career paths there are for people that are experienced in the real estate BD role who feel like they've reached their peak but still have 20 years of work ahead of them?
Opportunities and career paths are out there for experienced real estate BDMs who feel like they've reached their peak. Well, I guess what career path? Like, do you still want to stay in property management, or have you exhausted that and you're wanting to explore, different avenues? I think for me, I actually started in retail before I went in property management. And that transition was great. And I always say sometimes to my partner, like, I laugh about it that I could go back and work in retail. I'd probably be even better now going back and working in retail because of the skills that I've developed over the years. But look, there's no right or wrong there. But if you want to reach out or message me, I think there's some layers to go into here. Anonymous person, that if you want to message me, feel free to do so, and would love to have a chat and help you through that and just go into some depth and pull some layers apart there with you.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more to go through with that one that doesn't necessarily relate to everyone. And we've got a lovely comment there from Amy saying thank you. And as I mentioned before, Amy was one of our previous guests on our webinar series. I think there's now 6 of them if we include yourself, Sarah. So on that page, you'll find yourself there at some stage as well. But yeah, go and check that out. I'll just give a last call if there's any particular questions. But look, I think people have just torn away, Sarah, with the notes that they've taken, and they're going and taking action and setting their New Year's resolutions in advance for a big 2024.
Yeah, and I think, look, I'm all for New Year's resolutions, but I'm also like, if you're waiting every year to do the thing, well, why is it every year, right? So it's like, let's review it daily. Like, that's why I gave an example of journaling. It's a daily practice. If we need to adapt and embrace this growth mindset, well, is it, quarterly? Is it monthly? Like, let's not wait for the new year. We've still got 2 months left to 2023. What do you want to do, right? What are the things that you want to achieve? Do you want to go to the gym and you keep telling yourself you're going to start and you're not doing it? Yeah. Do you want to give better customer service to your clients? If so, well, how are you going to do that? What do you need to learn? Who do you need to talk to? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny one, isn't it? I have the same view. It's like, well, if it's important enough to do on the 1st of January, it should be important enough to do today. Because if you're starting if you're waiting till the 1st of January, you're 60 days behind on your target, right? So, yeah, and that's where I think that constant journaling, celebrating the wins, that's really, really important. Okay, so on the buzzer, we've got a question. I'm on a tiny little screen, but I'll do my best here. We talk about collaboration and working together and not competition. However, you have the likes of other offices offering 12 months management fees or 4%, and it's not sustainable. Yes, we back our customer service difference, but they are lowering the standards and the new RRPs are getting burnt. How would you overcome this? This is a real common question and something that I think is really a horrible thing in the industry, and it's not just property managers. We see this race to the bottom, and unfortunately, people do get sucked in on the cheap fees, and normally they regret it. But how have you come across this, I suppose, all the time, Sarah? How do you get across the value proposition?
Yeah, and thank you, Lena, for saying this, because look, I'm quite open about this. I do talk about this, and you'll see if you do follow me on social media, I am open. And it's talk about it though. Everyone needs to talk about it. Make some noise. Educate your clients, right? If agents are charging 4%, why are they charging 4%? Okay, what does that mean to the client? Are they missing out on? And you'll tell I'm getting like passionate about this now, Mike, right? Because it does store a thing, but talk about it, educate them, yeah. And that's what some of my BDM clients are doing right now. They're actually educating clients on why some people are offering 4% or some offices, yeah. The other thing, Lena, I think is just be mindful that at the moment they'll do that as probably one of their tactics. But if we just take out the fee, see you later, put it in the bin, and just concentrate on the service and the value that you're providing, and ask yourself, are you really, can you actually really showcase the value between your office at 5% and an office at 4%? Like, do you believe that? Does the service match the value? The other thing that I want to add, I just saw Michael pop up too, but every office is going to be different. Now, we say that, you've got some big offices, you might have some boutique agencies, and their cost to serve is different. What I mean is the revenue they need to make on a yearly basis will be different depending on the office, the team, the structure, the prop tech that they've got or prop tech that they don't have. Do they have remote assistance? Everyone is different. So some agencies might have a higher base, like to serve, like they need to get a higher fee per year than another agency because of the cost to run their business. Because when we're talking about from a business perspective now, smart businesses and smart leaders will know their break even, how much they need to earn, but that can vary. So I think that we need to stop talking about the fees though, to be honest, right? Start educating your clients, your landlords. So whether this is social media or your email marketing, whatever it is that you educate your clients, start talking about the value, right? Start talking about what's included in the services that you provide for the property management. Let's just stop talking about the fee. Who cares if they're charging 4%? You can't control what they do, right? And if a landlord is wanting to pay 4% for their service, well, they're probably not your client. Concentrate on the clients that you want to attract that will pay the fees that because of the value that you provide and the service that you provide. They are going to be your clients.
That is an opportunity, isn't it? Because if they only care about the price, then they're probably one of the worst landlords that you can have, right? And Michael and Garnet have given some great comments, as you've just got to focus on what is it that you offer that they just can't touch. Make that your selling point, right? That their fees, here's what we offer. It'd be good to check with them to see if they can touch it. And then they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, Garnett just said, what would be some point of differences for your property management services? So there'll be some point of differences that might overlap between other agencies. That's okay, right? I think the thing is to focus on, and what Michael said is just what you offer, though. What do you do? How can you benefit your clients? What is the service that you can provide to them? Yeah, and it's not to have this, they're a competitor. They're just another agency. They're doing what they need to do as well. They might be struggling and they are offering 4%. I don't know. We don't know their motive. We're just coming up to assumptions. Or I also see though, this BDM keeps offering 4%. Well, perhaps they've been instructed by their director that they can offer 4%. It's not the BDM's fault. Yeah. So it's like, let's stop pointing fingers. Let's just control what we can. Deliver the best service, invest in, I'm going to give a plug to Tappy here, and only because I highly value them as a prop tech company. If you have someone like Tappy in your property management team, that is a point of difference to your clients, right? Rather than just having to deal with this maintenance stuff back and forth all the time. They've created something that you can leverage off someone else's business to help you with your point of difference. Yeah. So I think at the moment, refine and define, like look at how can we be more innovative? How can we give a better experience to our clients? How can we really understand the demographics of our clients and what they want and what they need from us?
Yeah, I think that's awesome advice, and it's not going to go away, right?
Make some noise through. Let's everyone make some noise. Stop complaining about it. Educate them. Like, let's show up as a collective and as an industry. If we want to do better, then we all have to do better, right? Because then we all win. All starts with us. That's what I said before. Nothing changes unless you change.
Absolutely. Pretty simple. Sarah, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for dedicating the time and putting this together and presenting it and doing the Q&A at the end. We really appreciate that. Of course, this will be has been recorded and will be available, so everyone will get a copy. An email will go out in about 24 hours. Of course, check out the previous webinars as well. and we look forward to sharing some new people as well. But in the meantime, thank you very much. We really appreciate your wisdom and insights.
Thanks, guys. Thank you all. And like I said, reach out anytime. And thanks, Mike. You and the team are absolutely amazing and really blessed to have you guys as affiliate partners. So thank you.
I appreciate it. And thank you for wearing the MCG Quantity Surveyors green. That was very sweet of you. Thanks, Sarah. And thank you, everybody.
Bye.